Kelp is a beautiful underwater growth. It forms underwater gardens, dense jungles, but sometimes graveyards. To swim through a kelp forest, a diver needs a good knife and plenty of experience, or he may end up like Dan Morgan. Dan Morgan and his wife, Ruth, loved diving, and diving together. They had new equipment, new spears, and hunting for bass seemed like great fun. The water was clear, the visibility good, but the fun didn't last long. Two miles away, I was busy checking out Dr. Barr, a professor of marine biology, and two of his postgraduate students in skin diving, before embarking on an underwater expedition. Our schedule for today included underwater communication, by hand signals, by Morse code, and emergency action. Although hand signals have not been standardized yet, I teach my students a number of easily understood signs which are finding acceptance among many divers. This one means swim to the right. This one means halt. One of the most important distress signals underwater is the one to indicate trouble with air supply. Dr. Barr immediately understood my signal and in 40 feet of water offered to share his air with me. Sound carries well underwater, and the metal air tank of the scuba diver makes an excellent instrument for sending Morse code. Although my students had passed their Morse code test in a dry classroom, it was essential to test their ability to send and receive tapped communications under operational conditions. The vital importance of underwater communication was to be illustrated for my students that day, because within an hour, the life of a scuba diver would be saved or lost, depending on his ability to send a call for help under the surface of the sea. It was 4:45 when we surfaced, just in time to receive an urgent call from the Coast Guard asking me to render assistance to a lady in distress. Within minutes, we had rounded Crag Point and had the Morgan boat in sight.
He was dragged under. We were swimming and...
Who was dragged under?
My husband. We were spearfishing and I came to the surface and he was...
questions, huh? Was he wearing scuba?
Yes.
How many tanks?
One. But Mr. Nelson...
When he went in, did he have a full tank of air?
Yes.
How long was he in before he was dragged under?
Well, just a few minutes, maybe 3, maybe 4 minutes.
How long has it been since he disappeared?
About 15 minutes, and he hasn't come up yet.
There's some binoculars in my locker. Go get them and start looking. Search for anything on the surface, especially bubbles.
Oh, I should have swam down to him. I should have tried to untangle him from the line. I should have tried to get the thing out of the way.
Stop it. I'm sorry. And if you want to help us find your husband, you better keep your head. Tell me, what happened?
We were just a few feet below the surface of the water. Right over there. Suddenly, a bass swam by. It was huge. Dan fired his spear gun. It struck. It started to go in that direction.
To the point, huh?
But first it went to the surface, and I swam up, and I saw the fish, and then I saw Dan, and he was all tangled up in the line. He tried to free himself with his knife, but he lost it. Then the fish pulled him down under and took him over towards the point.
You see anything?
Nothing yet, Mike.
Nothing, Mike.
Nothing here, Mike.
You know how to have a twin outboard, Dr. Barr?
Got one at home just like it.
All right, good. Now, from what Mrs. Morgan tells me, her husband disappeared somewhere between here and the point. Now, you take the outboard and parallel my course about 25 yards to that side, okay?
Right.
You go with him, Haynes.
Right, Mike.
And use those glasses.
But if Dan hasn't come up yet, is there still hope?
He has a good 30 minutes of airlift. We'll find him in time. Now, let me try those glasses. You take the wheel, will you? Keep a sharp watch for equipment they might have jettisoned.
Hey, Mike, over there.
How far?
About 100 yards. There's a lot of bubbles coming to the surface.
Yeah. Straight ahead, toward the point.
Within 3 minutes, our boats had reached the bubbles, which were probably coming up from Dan Morgan's air tanks. We were ready to dive.
Let's go, huh?
We had no trouble following the stream of bubbles downward, but 20 feet below, we were stopped short. The bubbles had disappeared. But that wasn't too alarming. An underwater current might easily have swept the bubbles out of their original path. I swam down with a marker buoy and line to mark our position. I motioned to my partners to remain below and search while I went up for more equipment.
Did you find him?
No, not yet. Doctor, throw over the reel and line. We're gonna have to do some looking.
But the bubbles, didn't you follow them?
Currents do funny things sometimes. The bubbles just disappeared.
If you need help, you yank on the marker cord, right, Mike?
You're a good student, Doctor.
I came down with a reel and a line, because an underwater search has to be systematic. You must leave no inch of the bottom uncovered and must not cover any part of the ground twice. One sure method is the circular search, swimming around the reel at different distances from the center. air bubbles from Morgan's tank, but natural gas, escaping from a fissure in the ocean floor. The gas well discovery meant nothing. Uppermost in our minds was what this disastrous news would mean to Ruth Morgan. It was up to me to break the bad news to Ruth Morgan while my students brought up the real. I knew in my heart that we had very little hope. Time was against us. The search pattern had to be carefully laid out.
No. But the bubbles, didn't you follow them?
It was from a natural gas well.
Oh, then he's lost. We'll never find him.
Hold on now. There's still time. You still got air. You can't be far away.
Did you find him?
No!
I found something. See the initials on it.
DM. What's your husband's first name?
Dan, it's his. I know it.
Where'd you find it?
I marked it with a buoy.
Hey, Mike. Found the reel.
Good. Hey, Wilson. You take the wheel again, huh?
Right, Mike.
And follow Barn.
Right.
See the marker that Barr left?
Yeah.
What's the matter? Kelp.
It's bull kelp.
It's been dragged into an underwater forest of bull kelp.
You know, this is something that I haven't checked you out on. Swimming in kelp is going to be plenty dangerous. If you get panicky and forget what I've taught you, you're going to be in trouble. All right. Can't talk you out of it. Come on. Let's get going. Take out your knives. We'll swim with them in our hands.
Mr. Nelson, I'm going with you.
It's too dangerous.
But my husband's down there. I've got to help. Don't you understand?
All right, you're swimming a search path right next to me. And swim with your knife in your hand, huh?
Well, but
In case you get tangled with kelp.
We marked the search area, getting ready to dive. Less than 50 yards away from us, there was a rising stream of air bubbles. These bubbles rose from Dan Morgan's air tank. They never reached the surface. They were caught by the imprisoning kelp leaves. The entangling fish line which had dragged him into the trap held him a prisoner. Without his knife, which he had lost when he speared the fish, he couldn't cut himself loose. The search began, first near the markers and at prearranged levels. We swam down through clear water just outside the edge of the kelp. Next to the danger of entanglement in kelp is the danger of losing your sense of direction. Against this, of course, the diver's best defense is his compass. Each of my students wore one, and would swim a straight search path through the kelp on a course of 95 degrees. Mrs. Morgan, having no compass, had to guide herself by watching me. The problem now was to swim a straight course. My anxiety to locate Morgan, I didn't notice that I had lost Mrs. Morgan. Tapping sound. Was the missing man tapping out a distress signal? But from where? Underwater sound seems to come from all directions. But the tapping noise didn't come from the imprisoned man. He also heard it and tried to see from where it was coming. Although he wasn't more than 20 yards from me, he couldn't see me, and I couldn't see him. A sudden surge of kelp dragged the air hose from her mouth, but I knew that I could reach her in a few seconds. The trapped man listened for the tapping to start again and hoped that it signaled the approach of some rescuer. But the tapping had ceased, and no one came. I could see that she had swallowed some water and began to guide her back out of the kelp. I started a service with her while my students continued the search. Time was growing short. Less and less light was penetrating the underwater jungle, and Dan Morgan's air supply must have been at the very end. When Dan Morgan had heard the tapping noise, his hope had revived. If anyone were within earshot, they could hear his tapping too. His hand strained toward a stone which was just beyond his reach. Because of the failing light, my students had decided to turn back without completing a search of their paths. They too started for the surface.
How do you feel? Are you all right? Do you feel better?
Yes. I'm going back down.
We almost lost you once. Let's not try it again.
Mike!
Did you find anything?
No! The kelp gets thicker the further in you get. We've got to find flares or something.
Come aboard, all of you.
Oh, you're not calling off the search, are you?
For them, yes.
Oh, but Mr. Nelson, you can't
It's getting dark.
Well, but they're all willing.
They're my students. Their lives are my responsibility.
You just can't leave him out there.
Doctor, get my portable light for me, huh?
Right, Doctor.
There's still time for one more try.
I'm going with you.
No.
I'm going.
Hold it.
I'm coming. Please, Barney.
Time, 5:30. It would soon be totally dark, and Morgan would be out of air. Again, the sound of tapping. Had Ruth followed me? The tapping sound seemed to come from all directions. Suddenly, I saw something in the distance. The tapping seemed louder. Once I had located Dan Morgan, it took me only seconds to free him and take him to the surface.
Dan, darling.
Oh, it's all right, honey. It's all right. Let's show off, huh? Thanks. Hi there. I'm Lloyd Bridges. Skin diving is certainly a lot of fun, and it's full of adventure. See some more of it again next week, huh? When there'll be another excursion into that fabulous underwater world of Sea Hunt.
On March 27th, Hurricane Teresa struck along a front 700 miles wide. One of the victims was a United States Air Force bomber carrying a nuclear bomb. One engine damaged, ravaged by the hurricane, its commander ordered everything non-essential tossed overboard. The last thing to be jettisoned was the nuclear bomb. It was unarmed, and the commander believed that he was safe in dropping it. He was wrong. The bomb was somewhere on the bottom, in a known sector of ocean. The Air Force didn't know exactly where, or if it had been damaged. They did know that corrosion, the electrolytic action of seawater, would start immediately. That in some parts of the sea, this action is much stronger than in others. And if the alloy casing were eaten through, the two fissionable components could unite and the bomb explode. The bomb had to be recovered fast, but it had fallen in the coastal area of another nation. No official expedition could be sent without causing panic. That's why I was called in to head an emergency mission. A week later, I was well into the search. My two colleagues were ex-frogmen like myself. I was diving with Paul Redman. We were working the area near a cave. We were operating in deep water, and the bottom was rocky. But the big problem was time. We had to find that nuclear bomb before the corrosion got too far. When we reached the cave, I motioned to Paul to go around. The pressure must have been affecting him because he ignored my order and the rules of diving procedure too, and went in alone. Suddenly, I realized what he had done and rushed into the cave. But by the time I reached him, he had become wedged into one of the narrow passageways. When we reached the surface, Paul was unconscious. I knew that he must have swallowed a lot of water. We needed Paul, but he'd be in no condition to dive for maybe 48 hours. I wasn't too sure whether we still had 48 hours.
How do you feel?
Like a dish rag.
Put him over here.
Right. Get this thing out of the way.
Sorry. My fault, Mike.
Get a blanket.
Pretty stupid thing I did down there, wasn't it?
So you won't do it next time.
Next time. Right now, I'm not looking forward to any next time.
When we'd arrived 4 days ago, I'd put a piece of metal into the water to test for corrosion.
Looks like a piece of Swiss cheese.
And that's after only 4 days down the water. Look at that. We had less time than we thought.
Yeah, that whole Navy task force out there waiting on us. Think they could send us any divers?
There's not a chance. Our orders are to keep radio silent. Looks like it's up to just the two of us.
Hey, look.
Oh, it's just a fishing boat. Lots of them around here.
Yeah, but that's the same one that's been following us for 3 days.
You think those are the same divers? Why else would they be hunting here? These are my fishing grounds. I'm gonna let them characters move in. Full ahead.
I had no idea what these fishermen were after, but I was certain that we couldn't afford to be delayed by anything.
Hi, I'm Mike Nelson.
Listen, you skin divers. You jokers in them rubber bunny suits are ruining my fishing. Get out.
We're running a survey. We'll be finished soon.
You're finished as of right now. I don't want you characters fouling up my fishing grounds.
Listen, according to our charts, these are open waters, see?
I've been fishing these waters for 8 years. I don't care what your charts say. I say get out.
We're not after you, Tuna.
Yeah? What about pearls?
Pearls? Here?
Yeah, here. I picked one up here about 5 months back, but some joker in one of them bunny suits stole my marker. Any more pearls come out of these waters belong to me, Jack Rogan.
We're running an underwater photographic survey. Now, that's all.
Oh, yeah? That's what you say. I don't believe you.
Get off my deck, Rogan.
Okay.
How will you get off my boat?
Come on, you up, gone.
Duh! Well, you wanted this water, Rogan. You got it. Hey, Dutch, give me a hand. All right. Next time I won't be so easy on you. Now get out of here.
Let's get underway.
I said get underway! Nice going, poor boy. You go down below. Take it easy, huh?
Right, okay. Nice little exhibition, Skipper.
What else can I do? Tell him the truth? Let him in on our secret? Come on, we've wasted a lot of time.
Right. I get the idea. Looks like double duty from here on, huh?
I didn't feel any more like diving than Stan did. We'd already put in a day's work. But that bomb was somewhere in the area. And with every tick of my watch, it was getting closer to an explosion. The Navy scientists had warned me that the bomb's casing could be completely eaten through by electrolytic action. And our testing sample had shown us that it was happening even faster than they'd estimated. Stan spotted something. It was the wreck of a barge. The data that we had been given indicated 3 of them had gone down only the year before. It made me shudder to see how corroded the metal was. It looked as if it had been there for 10 years or more. Another grim confirmation of the strong electrolytic action in this part of the ocean. We were searching systematically by spiraling outward from a fixed point. Eventually, we'd find it by that method. But when? Then we saw something that looked like the bomb. For a moment, I thought it was. But it was only a few oil drums, probably off a freighter. The next day, luck was with us. There it was, the bomb. But the bubbles rising from it told me immediately that we didn't have a minute to waste. We examined it and found it in even worse condition than we had feared. Besides, it was wedged in the rock so tightly that I didn't know how we could move it. I sent up a marker buoy.
That's it. They found that pearl then.
You sure, Skipper?
You think they're just playing with balloons? Well, I'm not fooling around either. They just bought themselves a peck of trouble. Let's go.
With all our strength, we couldn't budge the bomb. I signaled to return to the boat. All of a sudden, I looked up. We were being surrounded by something that looked like a giant shadow. It wasn't a sea monster, but it was trouble. I knew it must be Rogan. He had used his trawling net and had scooped us up like a pair of oversized tuna fish.
You, over here, quick. Well, did you find those oysters down there? You know what I'm talking about, the pearls.
I told you before we weren't diving for pearls.
Let him go ahead. Let him play Captain Kidd if he wants to.
You got nothing to say about it. All right, you two. Come on, out of them rigs. Come on!
You don't really need this thing, do you?
I guess not. We won't be down there that long.
How do you put this stuff on? I never worked with this kind of rig before.
Yo, give him a hand.
You don't like him, huh? You want to get rid of him. Is that why you send them down?
Shut up, Nelson.
Scuba diving takes time to learn, you know. But what's more important, those tanks are half empty.
Nelson, I told you before, I don't believe a word you say. I was down on my first diving rig before you were old enough to wrestle a herring, and a hard hat, too. And I worked with these things a couple of times. Nothing to it. All you do is blow in here, and then you breathe in. What's the matter with this thing?
There's nothing wrong with that thing. You gotta turn the valve on before you can get your air.
So I forgot. Turn the valve right on top.
There's another thing you better not forget. Don't hold your breath when you come up, or you'll explode your lungs.
Skipper, maybe we better not try. We don't know too much about...
I'm going down. You're my first mate. Where I go, you go.
I'm not looking forward to taking those tanks off your dead body.
Grow up, Dutch. He's just trying to get you good. Relax. You never stop trying, do you, Nelson? Come on. All right, Chonsky. Keep an eye on him. We'll be up in a minute with the pearls.
Gotcha, Skipper.
Those stupid fools. We got half the United States Navy out there. We can't do a thing about it.
Well, we could send up a flare. Hey, Mike, what happens if friend Rogan spots that bomb? There goes another top secret.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me too much. I don't think you'd be able to tell the difference between that and any other piece of wreckage. But it's that bomb casing.
Pretty corroded, huh?
I had a long, close look at it. It's plenty corroded.
And if that casing goes...
We'll have a very noisy funeral.
Knock it off, you guys. Don't try anything with me. Hey, how much air those gizmos carry?
Just about used up by now. They're probably in trouble. Better let me go down and take a quick look, huh?
Skipper says no. It's no.
Hey, Chatsky, the skipper's in trouble! All right, come on. Call it forward on a double. Yeah, cover.
What happened? A big clam. I never saw nothing like it. A real monster. It's got the skipper.
Stan, give me that underwater flare.
You better hurry up.
Take off your fins, will you?
We should have never gone down.
Hurry up with that flare!
I got it. Here you are.
Rogan was in trouble, all right. His arm was trapped in a giant clam. His air was almost gone, and he would soon have drowned. I tried to pull the shell apart, but the grip was like a steel vise. I didn't want to use the flare if I didn't have to, for fear I'd burn Rogan as well as the clam. I hacked at the muscle with my knife, but I didn't even dent it. I saw that I'd have to use the flare. It was the only chance. I lit it and shoved it into the clam. The muscle relaxed, and Rogan pulled his arm free. I helped him up to the surface.
I don't get it.
You don't get what?
We hijack your boat, push you around, and you saved my life. What kind of a guy are you?
I'll tell you what kind of a guy I am. Guy who needs your help. How about it?
You'll need my help. You got it.
I'll tell you what I need.
Rogan cooperated just fine. He was a good man on a tough job. We had everything rigged inside of an hour. But Rogan and his men had no idea that their trawler was rigged to the world's most dangerous object. I stayed underwater to help with a crowbar.
Whatever sound there isn't given, we're liable to capsize.
Well, then we capsize. Hit that throttle.
But we're liable to sink your ship.
I said hit that throttle, you wet-nosed ragbag, before I got you.
But even Rogan's heavy winch didn't seem to move the bomb. He gave it everything that his equipment could stand. And finally, it broke loose.
All right, cut it.
What for?
We play it just like we're told. We break it loose and then wait. Is that right?
Right. And thanks.
Rogan never did see the bomb. We were ready now to keep our date with the United States Navy.
Cast off! Right.
Thanks again, Rogan. Just one thing more, Nelson. When you get into port tomorrow, will you tell me what this is all about?
I'd like to, but, well...
I never would be able to tell Rogan, even though he had helped to stop a terrible disaster. We were on our way to the Navy Bomb Disposal Squadron. Without causing diplomatic difficulties or panic, our three-man unit had accomplished everything that a task force could have done. Our mission was completed.
I'll be back next week at the same time with another sea hunt story. Plan to be with us again, huh?
happy to have you with us this evening and want you to enjoy every minute of your stay here. And while you relax and stretch, visit our concession where you'll find something to please you. There are ice-cold drinks, delicious sandwiches, ice cream, coffee and snacks, and many other pleasing treats. Our foods are fresh and tasty, our drinks satisfying and refreshing. They're so good.
It's refreshment time, folks.
Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on. Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on.
This is Drake's Head on the Pacific coast. There isn't a more murderous stretch of rocks anywhere in the world. Two opposing ocean currents meet here. They form a turbulent underwater stream that, hidden from sight, rushes out to sea. I was desperately searching from the cliffs above for one of my students. A student who couldn't walk and had only recently learned to dive. She was diving with her husband. I was sure their lives would be endangered in these waters. I didn't know that danger was what he wanted, and that there was almost no chance that Dinah would come up alive, because she was not only diving with her husband, she was diving with death.
You can talk about me just as soon as I'm gone. Augusta?
Her legs are almost useless.
How did it happen?
A mountain climbing accident about a year ago. Dr. Johnson is one of the best neurologists in the country, and he feels there's nothing more he can do for Dinah. Water therapy seems to be the only way back.
The physical state of her leg muscles and nerves warrant a greater mobility than she shows. She must be made to use her legs.
Why, didn't she want to?
Well, it's pretty dull just to kick your feet in a pool. That's why I sent for you.
You mean you want to use scuba diving as a therapy?
Yes.
I thought Mr. Garrick's idea was a very practical one.
What's so amusing?
Oh, it isn't. It's just that I've been trying to sell this idea to the medical profession for years.
You mean for general use, as in polio?
Why not? It gives the patient an incentive. It makes him equal to the others when he's in the water.
Mr. Nelson, you help Dinah Garrick, and I'll sell your idea to the medical profession.
You'll take the job?
I've been waiting for it.
Well, Mr. Nelson, she's in your hands. I'll be in touch with you.
Nice meeting you, Dr.
Nice
Johnson.
meeting you. Never mind, Mr. Garrick. I can find my way out.
I think your wife will take to scuba diving.
Well, she loved swimming before the accident.
No problem, then. How about you? You like to take some lessons?
Well, as far as scuba diving is concerned, you'll have to count me out. I've thought of it, but I seem to have some sort of claustrophobia. Just couldn't do it.
Don't let it bother you. Well, I can start with her tomorrow in the pool, if that's okay with you.
Wonderful. Let's go talk to her.
According to the log that I kept on Dinah Garrick, her first lesson with the snorkel and mask took place on July 5th in her pool. She showed no fear of water. The next day, July the 6th, I took her snorkel diving in a calm ocean cove near her home. I knew that seeing the flora and fauna of the sea would quicken her interest in swimming. A week later, July the 12th, I took her to a moderate depth. No panic, no alarm. I was sure that the excitement of diving would hold her through a long course of water therapy. In order to make Dinah use her legs for extended periods but without strain, I employed a water scooter. This permitted many variations of motion. Every muscle of her legs got its share of gentle movement. This involved her making the transition from snorkel to scuba. She took to underwater breathing like a fish. I applied this therapy for 2 weeks. During the following 7 days, I took Dinah deeper in slow stages, 30 feet, 40 feet, and at the end of the 4th week, on August the 2nd, according to my log, to 60 feet. I congratulated myself on having found the perfect student. But suddenly a manta ray flashed into view. It saw us and charged, or so Dinah thought. She panicked and started to surface fast, dangerously fast. But I got to her in time, held her down. She'd forgotten that fast surfacing from depth can give you the bends, and that bends can kill. That was the only scare. The rest was all fun and frolic. It was during the next week that Dinah met her first seal. He saw us cavorting and promptly began to imitate us. The same day, Dinah had her first proof that seals can talk. We could hear the noise that these mammals make underwater. There was no holding Dinah back now. She claimed every other living thing in the sea as friend and playmate. She seemed never to get tired, and in the water, never even gave the weakness of her legs a thought. This after barely a month and a half of treatment. It was on August 15th that Paul Garrick, with odd thoughts going through his head, was watching us after a day's swim.
Well, it's been exactly 6 weeks today since we started.
Mike? What do you really think?
I think it's time for Dr. Johnson to come and take a look at you.
I do feel stronger. Mike!
Don't do that, Dinah.
No, stay there, Mike. I think I can make it.
Not now, Dinah. Let Dr. Johnson tell you when.
Stay there. I'll come to you. Now watch me. I could have sworn I was able to walk.
Don't rush it. It'll come back again. You never did tell me exactly how it happened. Mine?
Climbing Mount Whitney. Paul and I had been married a year.
Yeah, I understand he was a guide at one time.
We were crossing the ice. I slipped. Paul reached out to grab me. He almost went over himself. I guess I was lucky. I landed on a narrow ledge. You know, Mike, it's only since we started that I'm really glad I lived.
And you'll walk. Your legs are getting stronger every day.
I'll have you to thank for it.
Go on. Put your arm around me.
That same day, something happened in the waters at Drake's Head. A man was caught in the underwater current. He was no ordinary swimmer. Powerful and deep-chested, he knew how to use his body and wind. He knew how to bounce off the bottom. He knew how to twist with the current to keep from being broken apart. And he rolled with the murderous underwater punches. He held when he could, and used his arms and fins with the skill of long experience. Finally, he worked himself to the edge of the current and got out alive. The swimmer was Paul Garrick, the man who said he was afraid to swim underwater. He was calm and unruffled by his battle with the current, because it had been a deliberate experiment. He had tested a murder weapon, the underwater current. His victim was to be his rich wife, Dinah Garrick. By the end of my second month with Dinah, I didn't think of swimming as therapy for her, except when I made progress entries in my log. Every day held something new for her. We discovered an old sunken hulk. Dinah brought sketching materials along. She proceeded to draw the old wreck at 50 feet below the surface. Her mental attitude had completely changed. She now knew certainly that one day soon she would walk again. It was this same day, September 3rd, that she tried to show me that she already could walk.
You think you're ready for that?
Paul drove me in to see Dr. Johnson yesterday.
What'd he say?
He said to try it. As soon as I thought that I could. With help.
Wait a minute. Concentrate now. Congratulations, that was wonderful.
I've got you to thank for it, Mike. Dr. Johnson said not to stop swimming.
That's right. Want to try back in the chair, huh? Come on. That's wonderful. That was great.
Oh. There's Paul.
Hi, Paul. Oh, you should have seen your wife just now.
I saw her. I saw you both.
What do you mean?
I mean I know what's been going on.
What's on your mind?
I saw that touching tableau. You were too interested to notice anything.
Paul, what are you talking about?
You're way off course, Garrick.
Am I? This isn't the first time I've seen you getting chummy with my wife. You can't seem to stay away from her.
Paul, you're imagining. There's been nothing.
Sure, there's nothing in your mind. Send me your bill. You're through.
He's dead wrong, of course. You know that.
Yes, I know, Mike. I want you to stay.
I say he doesn't.
Sorry, Dinah.
Ramming Paul Garrick's words down his throat would do Dinah no good. It would be best for her if I just faded out of the picture. She could get another instructor. The next morning, there was no new instructor for Dinah. Her husband had told her that he had overcome his fear of diving, that he had a wonderful surprise for her.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Clark. How you been, boy?
Fine.
I'm returning your thanks.
How's Mrs. Garrick doing? You want me to pump these?
No, going back home. Something came up.
Oh, that's what Mr. Garrick meant this morning.
He was here?
Yeah, first thing this morning, about 7 o'clock. Bought a mess of scuba equipment. It works.
For whom?
For himself. Joked about the student going to be the teacher, and he's going to be the student.
You mean she's going to teach him?
I guess so. He was trying on the face mask.
Be back for my deposit here.
Oh, wait a minute. It only takes a second.
I'll see you later, huh?
Okay.
I looked for them at the cove where Dinah and I usually swam. They were nowhere in sight.
Gustav.
Mr. Nelson, you back?
Mr. and Mrs. Garrick. Where are they, you know?
They went diving. I don't know where, but they took Mr. Garrick's car.
How long will they leave?
About a half hour.
You see, sweetheart, my jealousy of Mike Nelson didn't start just yesterday. It started the first day he came. So without telling you, I learned how to dive myself.
You said you didn't like it, that you were afraid of it.
Well, I guess my jealousy was stronger.
I'm glad you were jealous. Now we can swim together for hours every day. We'll be together again.
Well, Mrs. Garrick, shall we swim?
I drove down the coast to other places where they might have gone to swim. The idea of Dinah teaching Paul was insane. Being able to swim didn't make her a competent teacher. The chance of their getting into trouble, even of drowning, was too great. When I found Garrick's car, I knew that they were somewhere nearby. But why here? Why had they gone diving in these dangerous waters? Garrick played it safe for himself, while he guaranteed his wife's death. He let her down to 60 feet, to a place near the underwater current, to a place where if she were helpless, she would be gradually sucked into the overpowering turbulence. Dinah, unsuspecting, became interested in the new kind of shells on this new part of the ocean floor. Garrick unhooked his overloaded weight belt, and then quickly, before she knew what he was doing, he put the extra belt around her and wired it to her. I swam down, looking around. Then I saw them and was about to swim to them. Had Garrick gone mad? I could see him rip off her mask and pull out her mouthpiece. I lunged to help Dinah, but Garrick saw me coming and met me with a drawn knife. Now it was a fight not only for Dinah's life, but for my own as well. Garrick himself had been sucked into the deadly current. But this time, exhausted by his battle with me, he couldn't overcome its murderous force. He was caught, hopelessly, in his own death trap.
I couldn't get to him in time. Current swept him out to sea.
That's what he intended for me.
You walked all the way over here?
Yes. Maybe I couldn't walk because even though I loved Paul, I've always been afraid of him.
Yeah? How long's that been going on?
Since the day on the mountain. The day I fell. Or should I say, since the day he pushed me. Now I know.
The thing for you to remember now is that you're well again, that you can walk. I'm Lloyd Bridges, inviting you to join us for another action-packed story of underwater adventure 1 week from today.
I was just a kid when I first read that wonderful novel by Alexander Dumas, The Count of Monte Cristo. There was one episode that I could never forget. It's when Edmond Dante has removed the body of his friend from the burial sack, and he's sewn himself inside of it instead. He believed that when the burial sack is carried to the prison cemetery, he may be able to escape. But something heavy is attached to his legs, a cannonball. Even then, he doesn't realize that the cemetery of his prison is the sea, deep below. Unexpectedly, he feels himself being swung back and forth, and then being carried down into the sea inside the sack, which can become his shroud. But in my wildest nightmares, I never thought a day would come when it would be me inside that burial sack. Claustrophobia is something that you just cannot suffer from if you've worked as I have, beneath the sea. And I've been in some pretty confined places, too, that'd give almost anyone claustrophobia. I've been closed up inside of a two-man sub with hardly room to move, and I've been in a natural tunnel deep in an underwater rock, so narrow in places that I could barely squeeze through. And once I spent a full hour encased in an underwater pipeline. But never have I felt the full terror of claustrophobia myself until that experience inside the burial sack. It all began when I received a phone call from the Atlas movie studios. They wanted me to come to the location where they were making a new version of The Count of Monte Cristo. I walked through the grounds of what seemed like a castle, no doubt the Chateau d'If, the prison from which Dante escapes. Then down below, I spotted the company on the beach, busy photographing a scene. The man that I was looking for would be down there. producer-director was a man that I respected, Walter Wilcox. He had a reputation for integrity and realism in his pictures.
Mike, I want to try something different with the aid of underwater photography. When that burial sack goes down into the sea, I want the audience to go right down into the sea with it. I want the audience to be able to look at this man underwater, fighting his way out of that sack. I want to shoot this scene in the sea itself, with your help.
Sounds great. Want me to double your star, huh?
Well, maybe he does, but I don't.
Well, this is our star, Phil Hill.
Hill?
Excuse me, this is our leading lady, Laura Pepper.
You're excused. Just leave him here.
You want to watch out for her, Mike. Oh, this is Mr. Hill's secretary and stand-in, Mr. Mercer, Mike Nelson.
Mr. Nelson, Mr. Mercer.
Mr. Hill thinks he's perfectly capable of doing this stunt himself. In that, Bill, we disagree.
Walter, that's part of my box office, remember? I do my own stunts, and I'm going to do this one. What I'd like of you, Mr. Nelson, is to train me and then be my safety man when I try it.
Well, we can argue that point later. Maybe this stunt can't be done safely at all. We'll have to find that out first. And Mike, that'll be up to you. You want to take it on?
Please do it, Mr. Nelson.
Well, if the Count of Monte Cristo could do it, I don't see why I can't. Sounds like a lot of fun.
They started by looking over the area in which the scene would have to be filmed. Currents didn't seem to be any problem, and it certainly was deep enough. I took regular readings on a light meter. The water had the clarity needed to permit excellent photography. Sharks. I made a mental note to recommend that the cameraman should work from inside a cage. I was reasonably certain that these sharks wouldn't bother us, but he'd work better behind some protection. Altogether, everything seemed to be satisfactory. But the big question still was unanswered. Whether a man inside that burial sack could cut himself out in time to escape drowning, or sharks, or anything else that might happen. There was one way to find out. Try it myself. That would be next.
Benny. Yes, sir.
Knife, it's too dull.
But this is supposed to be a crude knife that Monte Cristo makes in jail himself.
I just want to be able to get out of that sack in time, huh?
Yes, sir, Mr. Nelson. Mr. Wilcox says you're the boss. Anything you want. Oh! What's wrong?
Cannonball, it's much too heavy. Take a man down too fast and too far.
But Mr. Wilcox likes authentic props. These are the real McCoy. I went out of my way to find them.
Can't you make a dummy one that looks like it but weighs a lot less?
Yes, sir. Anything you say.
Okay. And that knife, too, huh?
Yes, sir. What? Raise a shot, Mr. Nelson.
Sharper.
All right.
Mr. Nelson, say, when you make that trial dive this afternoon, I'd like to be your safety man. Well, you see, I've done quite a bit of scuba diving, and, well, if you haven't made any other arrangement, I'd really appreciate the chance.
Well, as a matter of fact, I was just on my way now to see if I could get a safety man. You, mind if I check you out first?
No, not at all. Thanks for the break, Mr. Nelson.
What do you mean, call that a break?
Well, it could get Mr. Wilcox to really notice me. And he's got another picture coming up with a part that's, well, if a director really likes you, it can mean a lot. Besides, Mr. Wilcox has his way. I'm the one who'll do this stunt, not Bill.
Well, how's that going to sit with Bill?
Look, I've been worrying about Bill since we were in college. It's time I started worrying about me. He got his break. I'm still waiting for mine. That guy can't wait forever.
I'll see you at 2 o'clock, huh?
I checked Ed out a few hours later. He handled himself very well. He knew all the signals, and more important, He understood teamwork. Being underwater for a prolonged period didn't seem to bother him at all, but I wanted to make sure. I tried him out on a sharp turn to see whether his reflexes had become sluggish or had been affected in any way, but he just ate it up. He was a real eager beaver, ready to show me every trick in his book. He wanted to keep right on. I finally had to stop him before we ran out of air, but I was well satisfied. He'd be an excellent safety man.
Hiya, Mike.
Bill, I didn't recognize you.
This is what I wear in the prison scenes.
Okay, head down now. Here we go.
I'll see you all later.
Mike?
Yeah, it's me.
You all right?
Yeah, it's in my nose. It just... You got that stopwatch?
Yes. I'll time it from the moment you hit the surface to the moment you reappear. You sure you've got the knife?
Yeah, got it right here.
Good.
Hey, Benny.
Yeah.
Give me a couple of seconds, huh, before you throw me over. Let me hyperventilate.
Okay. Where do we put the counterborn on now, huh?
He acted as my safety man. He took his position at 50 feet.
We can handle it.
We got him. Okay. Boy, he's heavy.
Director and his crew were counting the seconds anxiously while I made myself the guinea pig in an underwater test. It was to see whether a man sewn into a loose sack with a cannonball tied to his legs could hold his breath, cut himself free, and reach the surface before blacking out. Ed, the safety man, was standing by with air if I needed it. But before I let anyone else try it, I had to know what the limit would be. It took all my willpower to resist Ed's help. My lungs felt like balloons about to burst. I had made it.
Oh, a little.
You feel all right?
What was my time?
It was an eternity. I thought you'd never come up.
That's much too long. I lost my knife, for one thing. Gonna tie this down, Benny.
All right, tie the knife down, right.
To the wrist, huh?
Okay.
A couple of other things like that need to be done before I can let your man get out of that sacking, but your stunt can be done. It'll work.
Good. How many more rehearsals do you think you'll need before we can shoot it?
Just one more ought to do it. But I'm going to be the safety man from now on. I figure the man who really does a stunt ought to have at least one rehearsal inside of that sacking before you take it. What do you say?
Well, I think so, too.
Who's that man going to be?
Ed. Can you be ready for the dress rehearsal by tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
The assistant will give you both a definite call.
That's gonna be all right.
Uh-huh.
You're right, Benny. There's plenty of room in there for the camera crew.
Plenty of room.
We shoot through these windows here.
Ed, I've made up my mind about this stunt. I've just got too much at stake to let anybody else do it. I've been telling the press for weeks now that nobody'd be in that sacking but me, and that's who it's got to be.
Thought this was settled.
Look, Mike, I'll level with you. I know I'm not the world's greatest actor, but this physical stuff, well, that's my special angle, my big appeal.
Yeah, I know, Bill, but Mr. Wilcox said that
Ed, you're still working for me, and that's the way I want it. And that's final.
Thanks.
Because Ed told you that this was his big opportunity, And I suppose he told you in the last 2 years I've gotten him no less than 3 screen tests, and he muffed them all. Ask anybody in the crew. Ask Benny.
It's true.
He just hasn't got what it takes.
Now, this stunt is still my responsibility, you know.
Mike, I've got a proposition for you. I want to try it. If I foul up or you say I'm too slow, whatever, I'll accept it. Word of honor.
I don't know, Bill. Mr. Wilcox will never forgive me.
You'll be there as safety man. What could go wrong?
If you don't pass the tests, I tell you to forget all about it. There'll be no arguments with me or with Mr. Wilcox.
Not another word.
But you gotta carry a diving lung in that sack with you.
Okay, it's a deal.
I didn't know whether I was making a mistake or not, but I didn't see how I could lose either way. If Bill handled himself badly underwater, he'd be out of our hair. If he handled himself well, it would make my job easier. Bill was a superb natural athlete. He was out of the sacking and had freed himself in amazing time, as though everything had zippers. I couldn't do any better myself, nor did I know anyone else who could. Bill could be sure that I'd give him the highest marks. He was counting on that in his showdown with the director, and it was a showdown.
Walter, you know I'm not trying to be temperamental. I'm just trying to do the same thing you are. Make a better, more exploitable picture.
We can't shoot it today anyway.
So what happens tomorrow? Do I do it then? Walter?
Look, supposing something happens to you down there.
Nothing's going to happen to me. Mike will be there with me. Why don't you leave it up to him? I'll go along with anything he says, but just ask him.
You heard it. Well, I'm asking.
Oh, he can do it.
On your say-so. Okay.
Bill was made up as the Count of Monte Cristo, and the director was giving him his last-minute instructions and telling him that I had arrived at a last-minute decision, too. Just to play it as safe as humanly possible, I had notified the director that I was taking Bill's stand-in down with me as an additional safety man. Bill agreed that this was a good idea. Relying on Ed was to prove a tragic mistake, but none of us knew it then. Ed also was very agreeable to the suggestion. If things went as he had planned them, he'd be my last resort, and he had his own ideas about that. I directed Ed toward the position that I wanted him to take as the reserve safety man. The shark cage with the camera crew inside was lowered into the water. The cameraman released a marker, a signal that they were all set. After that, things moved fast. In another second or two, he would have the knife out and cut himself free. Instead, he kept on kicking and twisting. This wasn't what Bill was supposed to do at all. I thought at first that Bill was acting, prolonging it for the sake of the drama. It was logical. More seconds went by. Too many. Precious seconds. I waited until I could wait no longer. In I went. I cut at the sacking, but my knife wouldn't penetrate. I realized that somehow I had the wrong knife. I beckoned for Ed to come, and I tore at the sacking with my hands. I pulled with everything I had, trying to make the stitches give where the prop man had sewn them. I signaled to Ed again. But instead of swimming to me, he swam away from me. Then the sacking parted. I gave Bill air until his strength came back. The cannonball from his legs. We rose together.
finding you down there when I needed you.
Well, I guess I panicked. I'm sorry, Mike.
Did you get our knives mixed up?
No. What do you mean?
Let me see it. Hi there. I'm Lloyd Bridges. Skin diving is certainly a lot of fun, and it's full of adventure. See some more of it again next week, huh? When there'll be another excursion into that fabulous underwater world of sea hunt.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.